So those who are new to the this webinar or any of our courses, we'd like to give a small introduction about Shivdarshan Yoga Vidyalaya. So you can see here the three great masters, and we have our gurus on the bottom. Swami Shivananda, the first picture. The second picture is Swami Satyananda, and third picture Swami Niranjananda Saraswati. So Swami Satyananda, everybody knows, is the founder of VR School of Yoga. And in the picture, we have a couple of Swamijis who are heading Shivdarshan Yoga Vidyalaya, Swami Gambhirananda Saraswati and Swami Vairaghyam. So here you can see, so both of our Swamijis, Swami Vairaghyam and Swami Gambhirananda, are the direct disciples of Swami Satyananda of VR School of Yoga. They had taken sannyas, I think 4 or 5 decades back. They have come to Chennai and started this ashram 30 years back. So most of our activities and courses are just word of mouth, it goes. And we are here mostly giving teacher training courses for the yoga teachers and yoga practitioners. So this is our ashram where we have 6,000 square feet of area in Chennai. So where we conduct regular programs. During offline, we used to conduct here. Now due to online, we conduct through online platforms. We have regular morning programs going on here. So about a few things about us, this is run by these Swamijis. And our organization is a 100% charitable trust. So it is not a private kind of institute. This is founded by Swami Vairaghyam, who is the founder of Shivdarshan Yoga Vidyalaya. In 1992, he founded this. He is the senior most Swamiji of VR School of Yoga. And this building where we have shown was inaugurated in 1999 by Swami Niranjananda. We are doing regularly the research activities in yoga. So we have been recognized by Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, Government of India, for as a yoga therapy research institute. So both of our Swamijis, due to their seniority and their kind of direction they have taken in life, they were honored by title Golden Swamiji by VR School of Yoga in 2013. So we have these regular courses. Now we are going to start this TTC1, Teacher Training Course 1 and Teacher Training Course 2 coming Sunday, where we teach, like in course 1, high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, spondylitis, and course 2, menstrual disorders, thyroid, PCOD, prolapse, and menopause. We have yoga nidra and meditation, which is a compulsory subject in all these courses. So what we do here is we give a complete theoretical understanding of that particular organ dealing with this disease and also about this disease, and we give complete yogic solution of list of asanas, pranayama, which to do, which not to do. Everything will be covering. So after this, you will be confident to attend any patient of any of these ailments, because theoretically you know the background, and yogic wise, like what solution to be given, you have a clear understanding. We have kids yoga. This means this is for adults to become a yoga teacher for kids. So this contains mantras, games, stories, lot of things, so that you teach with those kind with the kids. And we have prenatal postnatal, which is a TTC3. So we have other courses like advanced pranayama course, chakra courses, Manipur chakra, especially separate course, mudra, we just started last week. We have Patanjali Yoga Sutra course, which is coming up next week. It's a 6 months course. You don't need to have any Yoga Sutra background, no Sanskrit background. Nothing is required. If you have willingness to learn, it's a 6 months course, very intense course. So we'll make sure like you understand the essence. So why the highlight of all the courses, teacher training courses especially, is like the courses are designed by Swamijis. The teachers are trained by Swamijis and selected by both the Swamijis. It happens under their direct supervision. There is a doctor's lecture for important ailment. We have a doctor lecture. That doctor having a lot of yogic experience. So they share the bridge between the allopathy and the yogic science. you have an opportunity to participate in live project or like high blood pressure, yoga nidra and all. So this is normally a very strict course where the attendance is mandatory. And you have a written exam, viva, everything in the end. And at the end of the day, once you finish the course, you become a part of Shivadarshini Yoga Vidyalaya. That means you become a kind of alumni member. So you can always keep in touch with the teachers and Swamiji and Ashram, so that in future, if you have any doubt, you are like free to always call anyone, you can clarify, so that the learning is continuous. You can also, if you are willing and if Ashram decides, you can become a teacher, you can become a volunteer. So these are the like few photographs where you can see here Swami Chidanandji Maharaj visited our ashram, Swami Vijayendra Saraswati from Kanchimat, and you have Swami Nirajananda Saraswati. So we have a much bigger space at Tiruvannamalai, where we used to go for frequently once in 2 months, 3 months. So that's a much bigger place for dedicated sadhana. So this is a small intro. Getting back to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So we are going to see in today's session about two important topics. One is Vairaghyam, that means detachment. Other one is devotion, Isvarapranidhana. So both are very important topics, both for a sadhaka and for somebody who wants to know, just curious about signs of getting into the higher stage. Then that's it's a good topic for them also. So before getting into Yoga Sutra, we should know why we are getting into studying Yoga Sutra. I want to go through why. Because that's one of the texts where we have n number of texts in this. In yoga, there's a prime text where get a solution to your problems. Because of suffering, like everybody, we are striving towards something. So the problems are there, something we can solve, something we cannot solve. The consequence of every problem is suffering. If the consequence of every problem is happiness, there is no need to go towards spirituality or even to do asana pranayama. Because it is not required. I am already happy, blissful. What is the need for me to go towards it? Nothing is required. So we know the pain and suffering not possible to overcome. And technically, theoretically, we know pain is inevitable. Can we avoid it? We cannot avoid pain. Even small wound, whether for a kid or for us, that creates the same pain. But we don't suffer. As an adult, we don't suffer. But the kids suffer, right? Because the maturity level is much lower for kid. But we know, okay, this wound has come. Maybe next 2-3 days, I should be all right. The kid doesn't know this. So when we grow, we get a maturity. If we mature enough, we can avoid all the pain. So pain is inevitable. Sorry, we cannot avoid the pain, but we can avoid suffering. Suffering is optional. The pain comes, but not necessarily it has to become a suffering. Keep on bothering about it. So who is the cause of all suffering? Naturally, we know the mind, because there are very less problem where the suffering comes from body. Right? You get a disease, you come out of it. So more than 90-95% of the problem is due to mind. So what is the root cause of all suffering? If you analyze the root cause of all suffering, everybody will say like it is mind. Because if the mind is good, blissful, then definitely I have the least percentage of chance to get into a disease. Of course, you cannot be 100% foolproof, but that's a more than 90-95%, that's a guarantee. So what is the solution? If I want to make my mind all right, then I should know how to control the mind, how to master the mind. So what Yoga Sutra offers is a series of techniques where different tools are offered for different people, not one tool for all. Different people. You choose whichever like or whichever you have strength, in whichever area you have strength. Accordingly, we can select. So Yoga Sutra is uh, it's a kind of a pool of tools where you have n number of tools to find the ways to master the mind. So what is this Yoga Sutra? Somebody who are new to Yoga Sutra, it contains 195 or 196 sutras in a compressed short form, and they deal with mind from its origin. What is yoga? From what is yoga? What is mind? And up to self-realization. You get almost the most important essence to understand life. Everything is there. It contains 4 chapters. The entire Yoga Sutra contains 4 chapters, or they are called 4 padas. The name called Samadhi Pada, 4th chapter. 2nd chapter Sadhana Pada. 3rd chapter Vibhuti Pada, and 4th chapter Kaivalya Pada. This is a complete flow chart of the entire Samadhi Pada, the first Pada, 1st chapter. You can see here the colors. You have a dark green, then light green, dark blue, light blue. So these things are all like grouped according to the topics. They are related, of course. All the sutras are related to each other. It goes with a nice flow. But we can group it so that we can understand the headings and subheadings wise, we can understand. What we are going to see today, you can see here the blue color, little dark blue and little light blue. And you have this yellow and little orange. So we are going to see these topics. You can see a path of devotion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 sutras. And here detachment, the 2 sutras. They're very, very important sutras. If you say without detachment, nothing can happen. And this is a complete tool. The path of devotion is complete tool. Only with this 7 sutras, you can attain the highest level. More or less, you can attain self-realization just by following this. And for that, this is the base. This is base. This Vairaghyam is the base for everything. So we are going to cover this. Tomorrow we are going to cover other thing. Maybe like the Samadhi, whatever Samadhi is there, we are going to cover. So this is what the flowchart of the Sutra. So we get into Samadhi Pada first. So before getting into Sutra, what is the base on which the Sutra starts? For whom the Yoga Sutra? Who can benefit from Yoga Sutra? The longing should be like this. Now there is a guru, there is a disciple. The disciple longing should be like this. Like he's asking, Master, how to come out of all the problems in life and be happy. I tried everything, but I am unable to find any answer. Can you please explain and give me a permanent solution so that I can live happily ever after and get complete freedom from all my sufferings? Not the comprehensive question where every one of us would like to ask. Like there cannot be a better question. If you ask, I need some 100 crores, maybe not, there is no guarantee like you'll be happy, right? Now if we don't have even 1 crore, we can say with 100 crore, I can be happy. That's only like assumption, because if that is true, we have n number of people with more than 100 crores. Are they happy? People committing suicide, right? Thousands of crores they have. People commit suicide for what? So there is no connection here. But he is asking, can I have a permanent solution? Come out of all the problems. It's a very comprehensive question. When someone comes to this position, like I tried everything. I tried the ways of different happiness in life, the ways of my sensual pleasures, and by my greediness, by power, I tried everything. But I have come to know, or I did not try, but by my wisdom, I come to know these are all like dead ends. So how to go beyond? If this kind of longingness comes, now a guru arises. A guru always waiting for the disciple. It is we as a disciple, like if the longing comes or crosses certain intensity, then a guru arises. Now Guru says, okay, let me tell you about yoga. So this is the starting thing. So we should learn Yoga Sutra. We should approach learning the different concepts by coming to this kind of humbleness. Yes, I tried. I want to know how to come out of all these things. If that happens, then we get completely a different essence and meaning of each sutras. So now there's a water boiling. We have a gas stove. The water is boiling. Can you see your face in the boiling water? Any of you? Can you see your face in the boiling water? Or can you see something? What is there inside?
No.
Why?
Because water is at that moment it's not consistent. I mean, not in a peace mode. Rather, it's all its particles are in a movement. There is acceleration.
Perfect. Too much activities of the molecules. Too much activity. The same thing applies to us. This is the activity of the mind. Too much activity is going on. How to see what is there inside? Even God is there. We say like God is inside us. How to see that? I'm unable to see because every time it is an activity. And who is the culprit, or who is that thing which helps in both the ways? For this activity, mind, right? So this activity is too much. Monday it starts. Monday morning, the pressure starts at office till which day it's over? Friday afternoon. Friday comes, the weekend comes. You start little cooling. What you do on Saturday and Sunday? To avoid the boiling, what will you do? Many activities.
Cool off.
Yes, cool off. How to cool off? Going out, going for a cinema, vacation, whatever you feel. You do here is you are adding up 1 tumbler of cold water. You are actually not switching off the flame. You know what is the best solution? To cool off, best thing is you switch off the flame, then you get perfect still water. Very cool. But I don't know where is the switch, where is the knob. I don't know. What I do, I'm changing the water. 1 glass of cinema, 1 glass of outing, 1 glass to restaurant, mall, shopping. Do whatever you want. So for temporarily, this boiling little reduces. Then again, Monday comes, again starts boiling. So if you just know how to switch off the flame, then it's very easy. I can just see clearly my face. I can see what is there inside the vessel, everything I can do. But thing is, I don't know. So we should know how to reduce the flame at least. If you don't know how to switch it off, but we should know how to reduce it initially. Then slowly, if you want, you can switch it off also. Now, why should I switch off my mind? It is so powerful. True. When you switch it off, then only we can sleep, right? How many of us are sleeping peacefully? Always the mind bothers. You get dreams, you turn this side, that side, no deep sleep. So wherever there is an equipment, we should know where is the on-off button, right? We don't know where is the off button. It's always on. So you see a lot of appliances in our home. Let's see, like you switch on everything. All the appliances possible. Now, can you hear the ticking of clock when all your equipments are going? The clock is ticking, right? You cannot hear. Why? Because the sound is very less. But the same thing, you switch it off everything, my night 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight, you can see the clock sound. Now, this is what we need to do. There are too much activities on our mind. We should know how to switch it off each and every part so that the God inside us, He's always on. So whatever He is trying to talk to us, we know. Otherwise, it becomes a total mess. Theoretically, we know, but practically, we are unable to connect. So we are going to see 2 important concepts here. Detachment. The first thing is detachment, where we are going to see 2 levels. The lower detachment and higher detachment. So detachment, it is called Vairaghyam in Yoga Sutra. We are going to see what is lower Vairaghyam, what is higher Vairaghyam. These are the Sutra numbers. The first Pada and the 15th Sutra talks about lower Vairaghyam. The first pada, 16th talks about higher Vairagya. So before detachment, we should know what is love and attachment, right? Because without that, there is no meaning of detachment. Because we always know detachment means going out, leaving everything and going. If somebody is detached, how he can go and perform his function? That's a normal question. So what is love? You can see here, love is you wanting someone to be happy. I want you to be happy. This is love. What is attachment? Attachment is you wanting them to make you happy. That means I want you to make me happy. It's a clear difference. What about you is love. What about me is attachment. So love means like, you are expressing your joy. I am so happy. I am expressing my joy is love. And I'm looking for an opportunity to serve others. Whereas attachment is self-centered. I only think about myself. What about me? What about my needs? All those things. So it is attachment is mostly based on fear and dependency. It's like this is love. I am totally full, right? I don't need anything. I'm so happy. I'm just overflowing. If somebody comes, I'll give. I'm ready to give myself. This is love. This is attachment. I am empty. Empty in the sense not empty by mind. Empty in the sense I need everything. I want more. I want more and more and more. This is attachment. Have you seen ever seen this scene with somebody died? What people around cry? Can anyone tell me what they say and cry? You can see clear attachment here. They'll say, right? You went, what I will do? Why you left me alone? What I am going to do? Who is going to take care of me? They cry with that, right? You see many places. It's all about you. About me. What about me? What about me? It's not about the other person who died. It is full of attachment. Because I am worried about what is going to happen to my future. They are also very selfish, thinking about me, not thinking about the person who left, where he is where he went, in maybe whether he is suffering or not, or he is enjoying, we don't know. What is going to do? That's not my problem. My problem is about what about me? What about that which I am missing? Because somebody is feeding me all the time. Now that stopped. So this is pure attachment. This is something like this parasite. That's a small insect and a cat and dog. This always sucks the other's blood and survive. Is it not that? Attachment is always wanting from others, sucking from others and living. This is attachment. But love is always giving. Attachment is taking, love is giving. Now, on a simple term from Yoga Sutra, what it says in attachment is, it comes in the second chapter, it says, pleasure is followed by attachment. Whichever we like, we get attached to it. Is this true? Suppose we like chocolate more, we get attached to the chocolate. Wherever the pleasure is, we get attached to it. Whether it is materialistic way or spiritualistic way, wherever we feel there is a pleasure, there is an attachment. So you are attached to what you like, or you are attached to what you enjoy. What is a detachment? Detachment is not going away. Detachment is living with the same thing, but still, I am different, that is different. That's a kind of maturity where you keep a distance from all that which disturbs you. Say, I want to go to a place. I want to go to Kailash. Now, whatever stopping me in going to Kailash, those things are attachment. I need to keep away from it. Now, we are not deciding what is your goal is, right? You decide whatever your goal is. Whichever your goal, whatever things distracts from you from that goal, you have to be away from it. This is detachment, not detachment from your goal. What is the detachment a student need? What is the detachment? From what he should be detached? What it means here for him? What is it? Exams are going on, or in school days, college days, when you're studying, what you should be detached with?
From anxiety.
From anxiety, but you cannot avoid it. That's true. From all the cinema, TV, sports, right? When you have exam tomorrow, you should get detached from all those things. Your focus should be here. This should be the case. But this differs. The detachment is based on your goal. Here, my goal is to perform the exam well. So my focus is now on studying. So all that which distracts me, I should get detached from it. Now, what is the detachment here? Jai cinema, what should I be detached with?
The emotions of the cinema or the scene.
Reality.
Reality. Okay. Anyway, that's going to hijack you. We are not going to consciously watch cinema. If you consciously watch cinema, you miss it. Right? So reality, you will forget. See,
The emotions.
Emotions, yes. That's really so. That's a higher thing. That's perfectly right. See, I need to be detached from the outside world. That's why they make a cinema hall full of dark, right? Why they switch off the light? That's a distraction. Why you need to keep quiet? Because talking is distraction. They keep the dark room, put the AC on, perfect silence. Now full of light is flowing on the screen. We know it's imagination. We know it's nothing, just play of lights. But we cry, we laugh. How illogical it is. I know that is not real, but I respond as if that is real. My systems in my body and mind respond to the cinema as if it is 100% real. Why? Because I am totally detached from all the disturbances. If we switch on the light and everybody is talking, the doors are open, windows are open. Now, can you enjoy the movie? No, not at all. The effect is not there. You should be completely detached with all the disturbances and focus on the screen. Now, this ambience is very important. This is detachment. Here, the goal is cinema. So, my detachment is different. Whereas in the first picture, the goal is my studies. There, the detachments are different. So, for a spiritual sadhaka, he has to decide what are all the things pulling him, tying him down, rounding him down, not allowing him to fly. He should get detached from that. So there are two types of detachment, something called lower detachment and higher detachment. We are going to see what is that. Anyway, tomorrow we have a continuation of this session. So we will try to go as far as possible. So this is called apara vairaghyam. Apara means lower. Para means higher. Apara means lower vairaghyam, lower detachment. What is lower detachment? So let's take example of a cricket player. Okay. The cricket player, these are all not attachments to him. He should not, this will attract him. Don't want to keep him healthy, right? Sometimes his emotion or his taste buds will ask, can I take food? But he's restricted to it. Will he be wasting time in watching cinema? He doesn't, but not like we do. Other entertainments, very less. For him, the whole, his soul is directed towards cricket. He cannot be lazy. He cannot waste his time. Now you see, you want to become a great player, you should be detached with all these things. If some of it pulls you, then naturally your performance will come down. So you should have mastery with full awareness of no craving for these distractions. Hence, this vairagya detachment is a complete process of buddhi. You know what is buddhi? Buddhi is the discretionary mind. The buddhi says what is right, what is wrong. It's a part of mind. So one has to come up using buddhi. He has to go beyond likes and dislikes, even to become a cricketer. Forgetting spirituality, if you want to become a cricketer or anybody, any of your profession, you should know what are the things that distracts you, deviates you. Try to get detached from it. It's like this. We say many of us may have many habits. There are some habits mentioned here. eating, drinking, smoking, coffee, whatever it is, the language, what we use, different habits. Now you can see, I am keeping all these things away from my mind. My mind is here, the habits are here. I'm keeping a distance, very big distance between all these distractions. This is called Apara Vairaghyam or lower Vairaghyam. Is it right? If I'm addicted to coffee, coffee consumes my life. If I'm addicted, I will have 5, 6, 7, 8 cups, anything. Whichever I'm addicted, that is going to consume my time. I'm so attached to it, I'm going to suffer. So keeping away all the distraction from my mind. I am here, my mind is here. All the distraction, I kept it away. This is apara or lower detachment. How to do that practically? Now I want to come out of coffee or tea or whatever habits we have. I want to do it. How to do it? Now, many commentators say there are 4 levels. They say level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. The first one is called Yatamana Vairaghyam. The second one is Vyatiraka Vairaghyam. Third is Ekendriya Vairaghyam. Fourth is Vashikara Vairaghyam. There are 4 levels. If you are not familiar with Sanskrit words, no problem. Level 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the first? First level is I drink coffee. Like for example, take coffee as an example. I want to come out of coffee or tea. I drink coffee. I know it is bad. Not bad. I want to come out of it. Let's say I'm so attached to it. I cannot live without coffee. That stage has come like that. So I want to be away from it. But I know I want to come out of it. So I label it as bad because I don't want. Now I attempt not to indulge. Just only attempt. Still I drink coffee. I drink coffee. I know it is bad. First knowing what is right, what is wrong, what I need, what I don't need. This is the first level of detachment. What is the second level of detachment? Now, sometimes I drink coffee. Sometimes I avoid it. I say no. This happens. Not every time I can avoid. Sometimes I avoid it. This is level 2. You can see here only one hand. The level 3 is I strictly say no to coffee. Physically I say no, but in my mind I have the longingness to drink because I have not reached that maturity where even mind I should avoid, but that stage has not come. So I strictly say no, but whenever somebody takes coffee, I feel it's very good, very South Indian filter coffee, very nice. If I have something, it will be so tasty. The longingness is mind is there, but not physically. Now, I reach the 4th stage where I don't have longing in my mind also. No more longing in my mind. The moment I see coffee, I see water, for me, both are same. This is the Vashikara Vairaghyam or the highest level of detachment. Is this not the natural progression it goes for all of us? So whichever stage we are in, we may be in first stage, second stage, till we reach the 4th stage, we need to try to follow, try to do practices, whichever helps us to lead there. But these are the natural stages. No need to worry about it. If you fail in the 2nd stage, no problem. Again, we start doing. But one day we'll get succeed. Many of us here, you would have come across many habits, you have left it, right? Is this not the regular steps you crossed? Now we'll see what is para Vairaghyam, higher Vairaghyam. So higher Vairaghyam is you have to be free from all forms of thirst, including the desires of the mind. It is not only this object or that object. We have to be free from all the desires of the mind. How to come off all the desires? That will happen if I touch something deeper inside. Something is there inside. We call it as Atma, Purusha, whatever it is, the soul. If we touch that through some method, some technique, then we have a different perception of life. Then we can do. It's like analogy is like something like, so we took cricket. So again, we take cricket. Now you have become a successful captain. You got a World Cup. but we want you to resign from the team.
Ivanaya.
Something like that. How to resign from a team? I am a captain. I won the World Cup. Why you want me to resign? Maybe, who knows? Somebody wants to make you the chairman of cricket board. Something like that. There is nothing, the topmost thing, the sweetest thing. You should ready to leave that sweetest thing also. This is Paravairaghyam. So can we walk fast here? If we get our leg stuck everywhere in the mud, I cannot walk fast because I get attached to wherever I step in. Wherever I put my leg, I get stuck with that. Now I cannot walk fast, but I can walk if I have totally detached from all these things. Something like this. Now, we have seen mind now. What is now Paravairaghyam means? The so-called me or I should have distance from my mind. Earlier, all the objects were at a distance from my mind. That is Aparavairaghyam, lower detachment. Higher detachment means the so-called I should be away from my mind. Whatever I have in my mind, those things are mine. My thought, my ideas. When I say it is mine, then I am different. That is different. Is that true? When I say it is my car, that means I am there inside or I am separate. My car is separate. So I can call this car as my car. I will not say it is me. Showing the car, I will not say it is me. I know I am separate. My car is separate. Similarly, the car is for me only to use. I can use the car. Still, I am not the car. Similarly, I am using my mind. Still, I am not the mind. So I should keep away myself from the mind. This is Paravairaghyam. So, to restrict the activities. Now I have a lot of activities in my mind. If I want to restrict the activity, I need lower detachment. Like the cinema is pulling me, TV is pulling me, food is taking me for a ride. So I need to restrict those activities. This is called lower detachment. Whereas cessation of activities at my will. It should be at my choice. If I want, I can switch off the mind. I can switch on the mind. If that has to happen, we need to have this higher Vairagya or the higher detachment. So the sadhaka or the practitioner who has stepped in to the higher detachment, he will not go back because he has found the sweetest of sweetest. When they get detached like this, it's a most sweet spot. Have you felt so happy when we slept any day? So deep sleep. Within 5 minutes, the next day morning came. That thing we'll say, right? When we get up, I slept so well. That means what? You are totally away from your mind and body for a few hours. Then the mind takes a lot of rest. Then when you come up, you say, I slept well. Similarly, when you keep detached yourself from your mind, there is another kind of intelligence will happen. That is beyond the body and mind. So this is a state where there is no desire. In fact, the final Kaivalya Pada, the 4th chapter, it says, you should also get detached from mukti, the Kaivalyam or mukti, moksha, whatever it is. Then only you will cross and get into the final dissolution, that self-realization. The actual mukti takes place only if you leave that desire also. So that is the higher Vairaghyam or higher detachment. So how to control it? How to control my mind to get detached? Now my mind is like this, full of knots, stressed, confusion, everything is there. Now I want to make it so obedient. Be arranged a very uniform way. It should follow my will. Whatever I say, the mind should follow. But now the mind is like a wild horse. How to make it like a domestic horse? Because I do not know anything about mind, right? That's the problem. I'm unable to control it because I don't know anything about it. You know, which is the most sophisticated equipment on this planet, mind, right? the most sophisticated machine. But I don't know where the user manual is. I never studied. I don't know where it is. Not only I don't know, I read the manual. I don't know the manual, user manual. I never read it. I don't know anything. So that's the main problem. We are unable to control our mind. So Yoga Sutra helps us to find the user manual, helps us to read the user manual, helps us to master it, so that when I master the user manual, I know how to control it. I know how to use it effectively. This is what Yoga Sutra does. Now, okay, I am not interested in spirituality and all, but I want to control my mind. What are the benefits I get? You take like, for example, every thought we generate, that gives a lot of chemical reaction in our body. Now the science says this clearly. If you are stressed, different chemicals reacts. If you are happy, different thing comes. Now there are certain set of happy chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphin. These things are all happy chemicals. If you keep yourself happy, now these chemicals generate, making you to a blissful state. You remain so happy. If you are so sad or so stressed out, now you generate a lot of cortisol. It is required, but for only emergency situation. Now there is no emergency. Lion is going to come and eat away, but we get same kind of stress just by working in office, right? When your boss calls or when sudden pressure comes in the office, all the time we are stressed. Those are required. That emergency response to stress is required because body feels something danger. Then only you can fight or flight. That's a separate mechanism. But we are not living in forest, right? But we generate the same stress, but not doing any activity. When you have stress, the emergency response comes, you need to go and work. That's why they say workout. When you work out, you digest it. But when you don't do the workout, that becomes a poison. That's what is happening in modern day lifestyle. So ultimately, if you want a success in material world or spiritual world, it's how success you are in controlling your mind. Because when I control my mind, I know how to control other minds. This is what success is, right? What is success? I should know how to control myself, and I should control how to control others. So even if you forget spirituality, studying Yoga Sutras, and if you follow few sutras at least there, that essence in life, that will make us to master our mind as well as others' mind, so that we keep the things going. So this 5 minutes, any doubts so far? We'll get into devotion next. Any questions so far? No questions? We'll move on to devotion. Hello, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can move.
So
Sir,
devotion.
I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, till now we spoke about the detachment, how to get off that. Getting detached from the smaller things like coffee, alcohol, smoking, is everything okay? Well, I have a doubt, sir. Can I ask in Tamil or only in English?
Whichever way. I'll answer in English because many people are there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, in English.
So last 1 week I have a question. Detachment அப்படின்னா நம்ம நம்மளோட ஆசைகள் எல்லாத்தையுமே நமக்கு பிடிச்ச விஷயங்கள் எல்லாத்தையுமே திறந்துறது இல்ல நமக்கு சஃபரிங்ஸ் தர்ற விஷயங்கள்ல இருந்து வெளில வர்றது. Am I correct, sir?
Okay. No, you can ask your question.
Yeah. இப்போ எனக்கு என்ன தோணுதுன்னா, இப்போ நமக்கு குழந்தைங்க இருக்காங்க, குழந்தைங்க மூலமா நமக்கு நிறைய சஃபரிங்ஸ் வருது. அப்போ தோணுது சஃபரிங்ஸ் வருதுன்னு தெரிஞ்சிட்டுமே நம்ம மேரேஜ் பண்றோம். we are giving birth to kid and we are suffering from that. தெரிஞ்சே ஒரு விஷயத்தை நம்ம பண்றோம், we are suffering. அப்போ டிட்டாச்மெண்ட்னா அப்போ இதை விட்டெல்லாம் வெளில போறதுதான் டிட்டாச்மெண்ட் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி எனக்கு தாட் வருது. Can you explain that, sir?
So not everyone suffers, but many of us. So the question is,
சஃபர் இன் தி சென்ஸ் இப்போ ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு ரொம்ப உடம்பு முடியாம வருது, ஏதோ அன்எக்ஸ்பெக்டட் திங் அவங்க ஹெல்த் விஷயமா வந்துருது, ரெக்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியாத ஒண்ணு, அப்போ வி ஆர் சஃபரிங், ஐ எம் சஃபரிங். அப்ப நினைக்கும் போது இந்த சஃபரிங் வந்து இந்த குழந்தை நம்ம வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வாழ்க்கையில வந்தனால தானே இந்த சஃபரிங். பிகாஸ் நான் ஜஸ்ட் லைக் தட் நான் போக விட முடியாது, ஜஸ்ட் லைக் ஐ கான்ட் மேக் இட் பாசிட்டிவ். ஸோ ஐ வாண்ட் டு டேக் கேர் ஆஃப் தட் இல்லையா? ஸோ அந்த பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூல சொல்றேன் சார்.
So the question is like something happens to my kid or my loved ones, but I'm unable to control. That brings suffering to me. So is it not the fact like what we learned here to keep away from them? That's the question. Now we should understand accept the reality. The reality is when we come here, anything will happen anytime. Is that true? So we always keep a wrong imagination. Nothing will happen. When we come here as in human form or any living form, we are susceptible to many, many things. We may get corona, we may get a fever, we may get somebody can come and make an accident. I may lose my hand, or I may back my brake and be there for 6 months or 1 year, or I will not get into anything and live happily for 50, 60, 100 years. These are all tend to happen. We are all living in imagination, thinking nothing will happen. It happens. If you don't understand the reality, the suffering is inevitable. You're going in a bus or you're going in your car. Do you think like nothing will happen? The puncture will happen. Some nails will go and you will get the car may get into breakdown, or it can be the tire may get punctured. These are all tend to happen. If we start thinking all these things are problem, then we should not drive the car. Then we are living in an imagination. This is reality. If you don't understand reality, suffering is not possible. We cannot come out of suffering. So do I need to detach from them? You detach from them. Suppose you keep away from them. Don't live with them. Still in mind you have attachment. Maybe you are in some other place, maybe thinking about them. It is not about keeping a distance physically from them. Understand, accept life. These are all will happen to anyone. Even for a enlightened person it happens. For a normal person it happens. So if we accept this is what the rule, the dharma of this world, the rule of this existence of this world, at least in earth, is these things can happen. If we accept, then we will do what best is possible. If something happens beyond our limit, we'll accept that also. People die. Then let's not accept. No, people will die. I suffer. I will keep away from death. Yes, we can keep away from people, but how can I keep away death from me? One day it will come to me also. How to keep away from that? Now we get into a wrong direction, going round and round. We cannot get it. Let's accept it first. So we are attached to it. Somebody dies, that thing bothers me, right? But somebody dies who is close to me, that bothers me because I get attached to them. We say we love them. The same person born next door. We don't love them. I love you means they belong to me. That's why I love them. That's not love. Right? They belong to me. That's why I like them. If they don't belong to me, if they are my neighbor, my neighbor's child, we don't get that suffering. So this is not equal to detachment, but we should not get attached. These are all reality. So we'll move to we'll come to the discussion. We'll move to this topic.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
So devotion. So devotion we call here in Yoga Sutra, it is called Isvarapranidhana. That means complete surrender. So here Ishvara means God. And if a seeker, what Patanjali says, lot of tools he gives. If that tool is not possible, please use this tool. He says this is a sure way of attaining higher plane.
Very class.
So this is Isvarapranidhana. Devotion. Well, see what is devotion. Before that, we should know difference between what is belief, trust, and faith, because these three words are normally interchangeably used. If you see what is belief, we'll say I believe a person. We say I trust my mother. The apt word for faith is I have faith on my guru or on my God. Now the first belief comes without any logic. I born in a certain religion, certain part of society where I grew up by something people says, and I grow by listening to it. So there is no logic. That has no proof, but I just believe it. That is belief. Trust is, it takes time. It takes time to build. Why I say I trust my friend? Because he has become your friend or she has become your friend after crossing a certain amount of time. They earned your trust. That means they never let you down earlier. So you're trusting them so that they will not let you down. Faith is, it's a kind of term used only to a guru and God, because the faith is 100% belief. See, the belief may fail. Whatever we believe, it may fail. Whomore we trust, they may cheat also. They may go, one day they may break the trust. But the faith is unquestionable trust or unquestionable belief. There is no question of letting down. So that means the utmost 100%, the trust and belief, it becomes full. We call it faith. So the faith, if faith happens, the love naturally happens. What happens if I have faith? So devotion means something is bigger, something is more important to me. See, I am devoted to my God. I am devoted to my wife, husband, my kid, whichever it is. That means what we are saying is, the other person is very important to me. I am not important. My guru is important. My God is important. If we start giving more importance to them, that you can call as love or surrender or devotion. Technically, we'll see like what happens to me if I have devotion. Now, devotion cannot be practiced. Devotion comes if we get overwhelmed by the creation. So massive is the creation. So big is the creation. We can never estimate where it starts, where it ends. We are just a dust on the planet. The planet, our entire solar system, is just a small speck of dust in this whole creation. If we see that, we always become humble. So if we keep our emotions sweet, if you are devoted, we have beautiful and sweet emotions. No worries, right? Because I accept the situation completely, no more worries. I have positive attitude towards the life. I get immense strength because devotion is like a child holding mother's hand. You know, a child holding mother's hand can walk very strongly, right? No fear, because my mother is here. So that is kind of devotion that helps you to cross. Now you will not bother about the result. Even something negative happens, you will think this is my God gave, my guru gave. You keep on going because you are devoted to your guru or God. You have more pleasant state of mind, and technically your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, that is activated. So you become peaceful, loving, calm. Your mental ailments can be overcome. Whatever the challenges the challenges put by your stress, you can overcome stress by means of devotion. Devotion is not laziness. People think like devotion means, okay, Ram, I just sit and just sleep. No, it's not that. That's the highest state of intelligence. It is like doing your full, putting your 100% effort and accepting the result, whatever it comes. Whether it is my way or other way, no problem. I accept the result. Now, this is called Isvarapranidhana. Means surrendering all my actions and the benefits of all those actions is called Isvarapranidhana, or the closest word is devotion. You surrender yourself, not by force, but by choice. By choice, I surrender myself to the higher possibility. So before getting into the sutras, we should know these three things. What is karma? What is samskara? What is vasana? Can anyone tell the difference? What is the difference between these three? Any of you not attended our classes? What is the difference? Karma, samskara, and vasana?
So karma is something that we have done, and vasana is something that our own what to say, character or something like that. Samskara, I'm not sure.
Sanskara
effect of
is
Samskara is the effect of it. the effect of all the karma that we have done.
Super.
Sanskara is something we are carrying from previous birth.
Correct. All are right in one direction. So we'll see what is karma. Karma is, let's say, take an example. I'm attending a class. Let's take some class, okay, yoga class or some other class. Not yoga class, maybe we'll take some other class. Okay, me and you take every one of you. We are attending a class. I don't like samosa. You like samosa very much. Okay, so you're telling me just before the class there's a samosa stall. You're telling me, come, we'll have a samosa. I say, I don't like samosa. Why should I come? You are saying, no, the samosa is very tasty here. If we eat, you will not leave it. It's so tasty. Okay. So I'm just going because you are my friend. I thought, okay, one day let me have samosa. I go, I had it. First time I had samosa, very tasty. Then I told you, very tasty. Thanks for getting me. Very tasty. Next day also, we are coming here. Before getting to the class, again samosa. 4 or 5 days goes. Okay. Now this is an action. Whose action? My action. I am doing one action today, eating a samosa. Again, next day I do one more action, samosa. What happens after 4 or 5 days? Suppose you are not coming. You are absent to that class. Now I go alone. The same thing before getting into the class, what will come to my mind? Where I will go? Samosa, right? Now that action has become my habit. Habit is samskara. The collective effort of all the karma gives an effect on my character. This is called samskara. An action getting into a habit. Now I get this habit. Now I eat my samosa. Next day again, you are coming to the class. Now the 1 month our class is over. Okay. Now we are not meeting. I am not going to the samosa stall. Suppose all these days at 5 o'clock we are eating samosa. Okay, right. Now after 1 month class, if I see my watch, 5 o'clock happens, where my mind will go?
To samosa.
Why, sir? There is no stall, no class, no samosa stall I have gone. Why my mind goes there? By seeing clock? This is vasana.
That's how habitually you have become that, right?
So it's like a kind of addiction.
Addiction.
A stronger samskara. Naturally, the vasana we always relate with next janma. Whatever we do, next janma it transferred due to vasana. Vasana means Tamil vasana, they say smell. I don't know about other language. Vasana means the smell. You go behind the smell. You're so addicted. People are there, right? People drinking, people. After 6 o'clock, they start searching. Where is the shop? Unconsciously you go. Now this becomes a very serious habit. By smell you go. Somewhere samosa smell comes, you immediately trigger. You have to go and eat 2 samosas. Like that it goes. So sum of action. Karma means action. Samskara means habit. Vasana means a kind of addiction. Just an analogy. So we get trapped into all these things. Many of our habits are like this. It starts with first action. Like school, college, you start one habit. It becomes one action. It becomes a habit. Slowly, it consumes your life. So this is the difference between karma, samskara, vasana. This is closely related to devotion, what we are going to see. So this is again important concept. So I'm sitting in this chair. Nothing will happen to me, right? Anything will happen to me?
So it's like what goes around comes around. Like anyway, you're going to hit, right? Get hit.
One day I will get hit. Suppose this number of blocks is like some 10 crore blocks are there. Maybe I will not get hit today. After many days, I will get hit. It takes a lot of time. If it is a small number of blocks, I will get it immediately. If it is bigger, I will get it later. This is law of karma or law of cause and effect. We'll say, right? We used to say, see, that person is doing all negative things, but he earns more. He's so happy. He got 10 bungalows, 20 cars. He's living so happily. For him, he has already pushed it. It takes a long time for him to get the karma back. The action, the reaction will be back after some time. But we are not seeing that. So this is law of karma. Whatever you do, it will come back to you, not to other person. There is a super intelligence which takes care of everything. Everything will come back to me, whatever I do. Will I win in this situation? Who will win?
Neither of you.
Both will lose.
Yeah.
Whatever I sow, I need to reap. If I kill this person, maybe for a few minutes or few seconds till he get down, if he falls down, then he cannot stay. The other person cannot stay. These are all laws of karma. But few seconds we are seeing, he is putting an arrow, that person is dying. We are saying, see, very happily he is enjoying. How many moments? Next few moments. It may be few years or few janma, whichever it is. But one day, whatever we do, it will come back to us. So it's like a petty thief. Somebody taken my purse, a petty thief. He will get caught within few days, right? If you give a complaint, he will get caught. 1 month he'll be in jail. Again, he will be out. Again, he will get caught. A bigger thief, somebody robbed the bank. He may be escaping for a few months or few years. But after a few years, he will get caught. Maybe not by police, but there is a universal, whatever the intelligent or God you call, but he is there to take care of all these things. One day you will get caught. It's a matter of time. What is this? Have we not taught this? What is said in our, when we are kids, what our mothers used to say? If you beat a dog, what she will say? Don't beat the dog. Next janma, the dog will become you, you will become dog, then you will get the beating. Whatever you do now, next janma you will get the beating. Is it not the fantastic way of saying the law of karma? Is there any other way? To grow a child telling this is the cause means effect will be there. Whatever you do, the cause, effect will be there. So be conscious about your action, conscious about your, whatever you want to do that consciously, because tomorrow you will reap that benefit. It may be plus or minus, it may be painful or pleasure. This is fantastically taught in our culture. Now, the concepts what we discuss are going to come here. The 23rd Sutra talks about complete surrender. We have seen what is devotion, what is surrender. That's the detail of it. 24, 25, 26, 3 sutras talks about to whom to surrender. You're asking to surrender. Whom to surrender? Surrendering to the God. Now this talks about 3 qualities of God. Then what is his name? The next sutra, 27, 28 sutra talks how to repeat his name, how to say his name. Last sutra talks what happens if I utter his name, what happens? Now, 23rd sutra is complete surrender. You can surrender completely to God. You have to surrender completely to God. Then the 3 qualities are, the first quality is, who is God? If you ask to surrender, what the disciple asks, okay, master, you are asking me to surrender. You are asking me to surrender to God. Who is God? What is his quality? Then the master says, the God is one who is free from all impurities. Impurities of pain, action, whatever it is, he is free from all those things. He is not touched by these things. It's called klesha karma cycle. We will see what is that klesha karma. There is no impurities, there is no cycle for him. And second quality is he is beyond, that means he is beyond all the knowledge. He is a seed of all the knowledge. That means he knows everything. Whatever has to be known, he knows. There's nothing he don't know. The third is he is always there. He is eternal. He is the master for all the masters. He is there in the past. He is here now. He is there in the future. These are the 3 qualities he says. We can attribute these 3 qualities only to God, no one else. Then what is his name? He says his name is Pranava, the Pranava mantra. How to utter his name? He says we should utter his name with proper understanding and attitude. Okay, what happens if I utter his name with understanding and attitude? The master says, if you do that, all your obstructions will be removed. So this is mentioned as japa. If you utter his name repeatedly, if you repeat a name, it is called japa. We are going to see that in detail. So what is the first quality of God? That means he is beyond klesha karma cycle. What is klesha karma cycle? Let's see, for example, we'll take, for example, there's a new hotel chain, okay, opened in my town. That's a famous hotel chain. Now, I don't have a big idea. I never ate there. Now I'm going there. I just took the breakfast. It is so tasty. Okay. When it is so tasty, now I will be totally happy. What action I do? In the mind, I want to eat in that restaurant. It came. That is klesha. Karma means I am doing that action. I am going and eating. When I ate it, now my stomach becomes full. This is vipaka, enjoyment. I enjoyed. I had that experience. I am so happy. When I am so happy, I had a very good breakfast that leaves a residue. I get into attachment. I get attached to the breakfast. In my mind, it stores as pleasure. So in my mind, I'm adding up. This hotel means breakfast will be very good. Now that goes into my mind. Next time when I go cross that hotel, what will I do? Next day if I cross, the same thing will come. Yesterday I ate, it was so tasty. Let me eat today also. Again, the impurities of eating comes. Again, I go and eat. Again, I will get the result. Again, it goes and stores in my memory, giving nice result. It keeps on and on and on. This is called klesha karma vipaka asayehi. That means it is a klesha karma cycle. The cycle gets repeated. This becomes a great habit. All of us are into it. Either we like sweet or we get into one particular habit, like eating in a particular restaurant chain. This all do. But the God doesn't have this klesha karma cycle. He is not into this. All the human beings are one way or other. Any of this thing we are there. But God is beyond this klesha karma cycle. You cannot contain him here. He is free from all these things. Second quality is Ishvara he is the seed of all knowledge. You know, such a big banyan tree, if you start reducing, it came from one small seed. And they say, modern science says, the entire, galaxy or solar system, even solar system is bigger. The entire solar system, you can make it into a sugar, small sugar ball, a sugar cube, one small sugar cube. Entire solar system can be made, can be compressed to it. You know why? Modern science says 99.9% of the existence is empty. What we are seeing is only few things. 99.99% of existence is empty space. And the same is true inside an atom. If you get an atom, there's a nucleus, there are electrons, protons. Now inside an atom also, 99.99% it's only empty space. So much close connection between an atom and the universe. If you remove the empty space, and you just compress it, the entire solar system will become a sugar cube. So it's only seed. From one seed, everything comes. Similarly, the God, what he called as Ishvara, is seed of all knowledge. That means he knows everything. This is the second quality of Ishvara. What is the third quality of Ishvara? He is the Jagat Guru, Adi Guru. He is eternal. He is always there. He is not conditioned by time. He was there. He is there. He will be there. He is the master for all the masters. So he says this is the third quality of Ishvara, because the moment you say like you want to surrender, definitely you have to surrender to the highest thing. So your Patanjali talks about surrendering to God. Then, Master, what is his name? You are asking me to surrender to God. What is his name, Master? His name is Pranava. What is Pranava? Pranava mantra. We always call Om as Pranava mantra. It is not because of any religion, relation to the religion, because it is pure science. When we don't use our tongue and try to pronounce the word, what is that we can pronounce? Keep the lower tongue on the lower palate. Try to utter a word or letter. What sound we can make? If you try, you can see it is, you can only make a, u, m. Only 3 sounds. This is like the 3 basic colors of a television. from these three basic colors, all the millions and millions of color, we get it. These are three basic sounds. So different religion name it differently. In Christianity, the same three sounds are pronounced as differently. In Islam, it is differently, but this same sound. So we call it as Om, A, U, and Ma. Because we say the total existence came from sound. That's again a separate, much bigger concept. It's called concept of Tanmatras, where everything came from sound. Now science proves the whole existence, there is no matter. When we studied in school, we said like everything is made up of matter. Matter means anything which occupies space is matter. Now, what science says is there is no matter, there is no you and me, there is only vibration. Wherever there is vibration, there is a sound. Or wherever there is a sound, there will be vibration. So we say in yogic test and in our philosophy, we always say everything came from Om or the sound. So how to utter? How to utter his name? How to utter the Om Pranama mantra? He says you have to utter it with proper understanding. With proper, you should know what is the meaning of it. What is the, you should know the real meaning and seriousness of it so that you reflect on the qualities. If something is so sacred, we should know what is it. Then we should try to follow that, try to let out that experience. Now, this is called repeating, uttering the word continuously. It's called japa. Anybody, any of you doing japa every day? Some of you will be doing. Any japa practice?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Super. So japa means what? Repeating the mantra. Repetition of mantra is called japa. If you use mala, you can rotate the mala. Every japa, one japa means if you utter at the time, the word one time, you rotate one mala. In synchronization with rotation of mala, you can do japa. So it is japa. Technique of japa is mentioned in 28th Sutra. So what happens if why we need japa is very important is that too specifically using mala. If you use mala, it acts as a reference. You cannot sleep, right? You are chanting the mantra and the one rotation of mala you're doing in your hand. Now you cannot sleep. If you fall asleep, the mala will fall down. So that's a good indicator. If you very consciously rotate it, you can go inward very fast. So you can witness all your thought without suppressing, and doing japa, repetition of mantra, takes you to a higher level. Okay, if I do japa, what will happen? Nothing will happen big, but the obstruction will go. Whatever obstruction, see now I am grounded here. Something is pulling and my hands and legs are tied up here, and God is pulling me. If my hands and legs are tied up, even if God's pull me, I will suffer, right? Will I go easily? It will tear my hands and legs. I will suffer, I will cry. But if I cut all these things, whatever tied with my hand and legs, if I remove that obstruction, then I will fly naturally. Who knows, I may be a balloon. I will just fly. So what happens if you do japa is all your obstructions will be removed. If your obstructions are removed, then as good as you can float towards God. So these are the benefits. What are the benefits? The obstacles are removed. You are like this. The light is there. Inside we have an Atma or Purusha, but the shining is not happening. Now, after doing this practice, you become like a clear lamp where the light exhibits its power of removing the darkness very effectively. Or this is your windshield. You are inside a car, it's so raining, your windshield is not working. Okay, wiper is not working. What you will see? You see nothing, no clarity. Now, after doing japa through Isvarapranidhana, your way of perception is, you are so clear about your future, about what is going to happen. So this is the clarity you will get towards life. So these are the sutras. This is a separate pada. This is a separate path on its own. Isvarapranidhana is it's a path of devotion where we have seen a lot of devotees in our history. So this is a path for them. So this is one path where Patanjali says it can take you take you close to self-realization. So this is a flow chart. If you want to see the flow chart, we have seen initially full. These are two sutras for detachment and around 7 sutras for devotion. So any questions? As we have seen 2 tools. One tool is like Vairaghyam, other is Isvarapranidhana. Tomorrow we'll see little more very detailed about Samadhi. You have 10 minutes. Any question we can discuss?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know how to do japa.
You can learn japa anywhere, no? Any traditional institute you can learn. You can see Swami Niranjananda Saraswati's video. You can search in YouTube. He's just he will show you how to use the mala. If you get your mantra, if you got your guru mantra from your guru, you can use it. Or if you have Ishta Devata, anybody your favorite god, you can take their mantra and start doing using the mala. You can do japa.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when it comes to japa om, so in some schools of yoga, we say it says uma, om. And in some, like in Mandukya Upanishad also, it's been said as om, like a ghanta. So what is the right way to pronounce om? How is it, how?
In Bihar School of Yoga, we ask them to chant 2 ways, ma'am. Om or Om. When you say Om, when you say that it should be start slowly. You close your mouth. It should become So A-U-M, Om, or Om, where O will be there 2/3 of the time. 1/3 of the time Im will be there. The ratios differs. In Om, our Swamiji used to say, if somebody is more sattvic, the Im sound will be more. You will give more time to Im. So, but normally what we'll do, if for anybody, if we want to chant, we will give equal ratio. A, O, Ma. So 1/3 to A, 1/3 to U, 1/3 to M. You try to make it proportional. In Om, if you are saying O should be 2/3, Im should be 1/3. That's what for beginners.
Okay. So both the ways are correct.
Both the ways are right.
2/3 and 1/3 om.
Yes. In Om.
Om, yes. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Shilpa Joshi. I would like to know that Klesha Karma Vipaka. So, can we term Vipaka as dissolution? Because many times, when we are talking in normal things, Vipak kisi ka ho jata hai, so it is dissolved. So, Klesh or Karma has been dissolved in that higher Purusha. Can we say it that way?
No, I don't get Klesha Karma getting dissolved. The cycle is there. What you're talking in the?
Yeah, I'm saying Vipaka, can we term it as Klesh and Karma are no more there in him that way?
No, Vipaka is a result. It's a result of your Klesha and Karma. Klesha makes you to do a karma. Karma gives you a result. That is Vipaka. That's a fruit of your action. Vipaka will give you an output which will form as a residue. If you put onion in one box, after some time you remove it, you say the smell is there. The residue is there. Onion is not there, but onion smell is there.
Okay.
Something like that. It leaves a residue.
Okay.
Whatever I do, it leaves a residue in me, good or bad. That residue is a storage. It keeps on storing, changing my brain pattern. See, I started doing yoga now from today onwards, for example. Slowly, I'll get little benefit. After 1 year, I will start doing every day because the small residue every day gets stored and change my brain pattern. There, my vipaka is different. The fruit is different. The asayehi, the residue is different. It changes my klesha. My klesha will become different.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you for all of this. It's very informative. I've So I'm very new to this, so this may be a silly question. My understanding of yoga and yoga sutras is that it's not religious. It's not connected to religion. So I'm just curious and wondering about. To me, it sounds like there's still like I hear religious pieces, especially when you spoke about devotion. So I'm just I'm curious. I'm wondering about that. Is there a connection? And if there is, then why do people say that it's not religion? Does that make sense?
Because devotion is absence of me, presence of something and absence of me. I may be devoted not necessarily to God, to my work. Karma yogi, devoted to his work. I am not bothered about who is God. Not every enlightened person talked about God. Many people, they never even opened their mouth. They say, do your practice. Do whatever practice is given. Do your karma yoga or bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Different kind of methods are there. For me, I may be devoted to anything. It's devotion is I generate very pleasant emotion. Something is a tool for me. In our thing, God is a tool. God is not my destination. I use God as a tool so that I evolve. So what it matters, if God is there or not, what it matters? I'm just devoted. Love you. Do you need anyone to be loving? If I say, I love you, then I need you. Love is not that. Love is like overflowing. If you go to any guru's place, you can feel that love, the ambience, because he is not loving about one person. He is overflowing with love without anything. You can be loving without anything. So devotion is about you overflowing with your sweet emotion. That trigger you may use. God as a trigger, the husband as a trigger, wife as a trigger, kid as a trigger, father, mother as a trigger. Any small stone, you make it as a Rishta Devata, that can make you a trigger. It's on how your emotion is deeply connected with that.
Thank you. Yes.
So, sir, what you're trying to say here is anything that you feel has a higher power, we can devote ourselves towards that. Like as a karma yogi, you can devote yourself to whatever karma you're doing.
Yeah, in Sutra it talks about God, sir. In Yoga Sutra it talks about
yes.
means God.
It's beyond that, is what you're trying to say, right?
Yes. If
Okay.
you can get your devotion on anything, if you keep your work as devotion, no problem. Suppose ahimsa, you take one ahimsa. I am going to follow ahimsa in my life. You devote your whole life on that one cause. That's a great devotion. Then you get all the benefit. Whatever a devotee gets, you get all the benefit. Here it is talked about God because we cannot devote, thinking mind cannot devote. So he says, you devote to the highest thing.
So something to focus on.
Something to focus on. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Somebody is devoted to Guru. They live their entire life to Guru. There are many people are there. Great Gurus were devoted to their Guru's direction. Guru's work, they continue. Not necessarily they pray more. They pray more to their Guru rather than to God. So devotion has to come. He says it because we are all in a society where from early childhood onwards, we know what is God. We are being told about God. So it talks about God. Devote yourself to God. Otherwise, devotion is enough. If you are not devoted to God, if your overflowing of gratitude and devotion comes, that's the purpose of it.
It's like, can I add something, or you just check whether it is correct? That is, devotion is devoid of ourselves. That is, you are going to give everything, whatever you have, but you are not going to get anything in return. Even you don't even think of it. For example, if you are going to do something for your child, when it is in your hands, you are going to do everything for the child. You are not going to get anything at the back. So is this a devotion? Can we call this as devotion, or it is a karma only?
Yeah, the action will be same. I want my child to pay me back, not in the sense my money, but I know my child is going to help me in future. Maybe, who knows? Maybe some people may be thinking like that. There are beautiful people who will be thinking what it matters. I got a beautiful child. It's an opportunity for me. So the child has come through me. So I will give myself to the child. I am not important. The child is more important. So outside the action will be same. Somebody is see from outside, these two people, the action will be same. Whether you are devotion or not, it is subjective. Only the person who knows, who does, it happens to them. If I expect something, then I will fall down. Anyway, all the kids are going to break our expectation. We have
No, that is what, whatever we do when we don't expect anything, then can we call that as devotion? I'm asking.
Yeah. If that takes your life, devotion is not about one thing. Devotion is giving your life to something else, to the higher cause. If somebody is giving their life or to their kid, yes, that's a kind of devotion. But devotion is not about one thing. That's a trigger. But you should be devoted to all. It's like love. If I love my child very deeply, can I take it as love? Yeah, in a way we are touching, but it's not about one person. It's not about one person.
But in our older things, all they have said like a wife will be so much devoted to her husband, and only that takes her to her ultimate enlightenment, something and all. No, so how is that? You will tell. How can you explain that?
That's a tool. Society has put already like we have been caught up with certain way of living. So there it's a tool, because somebody who is very close to us, a mother, I can use my mother, my father. But if I get attached to them, no, only my father and mother, my devotion happens. Maybe initially you can use them as a tool, but after we should go beyond. How come we can stick to one person? It's like giving a rope to climb. Just start climbing, then we need to break it and go. Break it means not throwing them out. When we touch that devotion, it should be without any one, two, like that person. It should become infinite. So if there's no more question, then we'll meet tomorrow. So we request all of you to join tomorrow to talk, understand especially about Samadhi. We'll discuss only about Samadhi because time will not be there. If time permits, we'll cover other Ashtanga.
Thank you.